You know when visiting teams travel to an opposing team's hotel and then some crazy fucking fan calls the hotel and pulls the fire alarm and tells them there's a bomb somewhere in the building so they wake up at 3 a.m. the night of the game? That's me to JL every night this week. The next time you see JL on camera, the bags under his eyes will look like capital U's. There is no hiding, John Luke. I know you literally took a remote job so you can hide away in Baltimore, so I could not come at you. Just like in week 11 when I beat down your fake implanted calves. Now I'm going to have to move to a new body part. Thinking about taking a bite out of that big old head of yours, so I suggest you wear a helmet next time you're on camera. We're on to week 16, the worst week of JL's life.
What up, baby boys? JL from the Big Cavs of Destiny here. It is Wednesday afternoon, reporting live directly from my Zoom meeting with my coward opponent, with my no balls, big coward opponent, Nicholas. Can't even show up to his weekly smooch with the Big Cavs of Destiny? Are you kidding me right now? These kind of antics at the weigh-in, bro? What the fuck is going on? He knew what was coming. That's the only explanation, is this motherfucker knew what was coming. He knew the Big Cavs were coming for him. But you can't hide, Nicholas. You can't hide from the Big Cavs. Big Cavs are coming for you whether you like it or not, buddy. The Big Cavs are gonna stomp you out, Nicholas. You can't keep me waiting forever, Nicholas. The Cavs need to eat. Big Cavs gotta eat, buddy. Yes, sir. Big Cavs are coming for you. Yes, sir. To this exact day, the big motherfucking Cavs. We'll see you this weekend, coward.
So like relax, I'm spilling these raps as long as you feel them. To the day that I drop, you'll never say that I'm not killing them. Cause when I am not, then I'ma stop pinning them.
We are back for the week
Just
16
Rivers coming out of retirement.
waiver wire video. A lot of controversy to tackle, but first we will take a look at the waiver wire this week. Was there any big hiccups that anyone saw? I made a couple claims for the first time in a while, but nothing huge.
I'm out, so I'm good.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything.
I made one claim for like $0,
I
I
just did
think.
a bunch of $0 bullshits.
Fire.
Jack's got money though, so you think he just went in on a Minshew? Or
It would make sense, I guess. Like, you got to keep taking shots on those guys. I kind of feel like he fucks with Quinn Ewers a lot, and he has a good matchup.
I feel like he doesn't. You think he's just trolling in the group chat?
That would be a Jack move, that he would like talk shit about him and then go get him on the wire.
For context, in the group chat, Nick texted, "How's A-Chain now that Ewers is in?" And Jack said Ewers can't throw the ball past 5 yards.
Yeah, but Jack also went to Texas and was like, he was a big Ewers guy. Like, he defended every time people were like, put Arch in over Ewers last year. He was like, you're dumb as fuck. But I think that's like the scouting report. He doesn't have a great long arm, like accuracy wise, but he's a big check down guy. So we'll see.
All right, let's jump into it. Number one claim for the week is me with Estime.
Good pickup. That was the one guy I put it in on.
Wow. I didn't think I'd get him at $8. Fucking yeah, only Nick and Tony putting $0. Not even a single bid.
I think that could end up being a really good pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
They don't have any
Love
running
that.
backs.
Devin Neal for sure out.
No,
Hammy,
but like,
right?
I feel like you don't leave the game with a hamstring injury and then like come back the next week, really.
No,
Yeah.
you don't. Or you shouldn't. Always.
The only time I could ever think that happened was Ibuka, like 6 weeks ago. Other than that, like
And he hasn't
hamstrings
been the
always
same
like 1 to
since.
3 weeks.
He's got a great matchup this week. They play the Jets, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
like if like Kamara, if he plays, then I've got Kamara. If he doesn't play, then I've got Estime.
Great opportunity share here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big RB2 for me.
Hate him as a player,
Tony
but great
Sherry
opportunity
for
share.
Tony.
If I had a clear need at RB2, I would have went in probably more on Estime. But it's like I got Achane Swift, and then I'd be deciding him in like Rico, and I'm like, I'd probably still play Rico. So it's like
Tough to go away from Rico there. Next pickup is also me. Colby Parkinson, $7. Nate goes $1. Tony goes 0. I mean, Parkinson has actually been good. Oh, look at this. He's been scoring touchdowns.
No.
he's got 6 in his last
What is
6.
Nate doing bidding?
That next. Oh, you're saying like, why is he doing that? 'Cause he wants
like
to
he's
destroy
out.
you. You play.
I'm not even going to set up.
You guys are in matchup of the week. Winner's commissioner next year.
Parkinson, especially without Devontae Adams.
My one concern about Parkinson is like the mainstream is so in on Parkinson now. Like everybody knows that Parkinson. He's like the worst kept secret at this point for this Thursday night game that I just almost assume he's gonna flop.
Yeah.
You know what I
I'm a
mean?
little worried, but like with how bad Tyler Warren has been,
Yeah,
I might put Parkinson over Warren.
Terrence Ferguson's about to have a day.
Davis
Just,
Allen 2 touchdown night.
knock.
Do you think he's gonna play like the Devontae Adams role in the
He's
goal
a
line?
good start. He's a good start, but like I wouldn't
My
just based on
God.
every time we've played fantasy football in our lives. If he goes out and puts up 2 points, is anyone gonna be fucking surprised?
I get what you're saying with is he going to be like a goal line threat? But it was funny the way you worded it. Colby Parkinson on a fade route, put him out wide on 1-on-1.
Colby Parkinson is to Devontae Adams as Matt Collins is to Hines Ward.
Literally, they're the same player.
I mean, 7 touchdowns in his past on 6 touchdowns in his past 6 games. And with no Devontae, I think the targets will at least be there a little bit more to where even if he doesn't score, his floor is somewhat okay.
One of the things to pay attention to for this week is the books have a seriously low line on the Rams passing game.
Really?
Like
last week
we were talking about in the preview of how Stafford's like minus 250 to throw for 250. This week he's plus money.
Jeez.
And he's plus money to throw for 1.5 touchdowns. Last week he was like mega favorite to be minus 2.5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So is Puka fine? Like, do we think he's going to play?
Puka should be fine. It's just like Adams was such a good piece for them.
Yeah.
I think it's that, and Seattle's like that fucking good.
Yeah, Seattle's really good. Stafford kind of struggled a little bit against them last time. Also, there might be some weather there tomorrow night.
Big 300.
Is his increase in snap percentage, do we think that's because of
That's because
Adams?
Higbee's out.
They also took so many offensive snaps last week.
Is Higbee going to be out again?
Higbee's on the IR. Yeah, he's out.
All right.
Rick Hagel.
I might have 2 new starters on my team right there.
Fire.
Nate gets Gardner Minshew for $1.
Fire.
Out of the league, or out of the playoffs, but he's
is
still
he
making the
doing?
pickup. Got Joe Toney for $0.
Damn, I think I would have got him.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
He's playing until the whistle, Stain.
But he also has Allen and Caleb.
He's making a statement.
I guess.
He's playing
Yeah,
until
his
the
statement
whistle.
is fuck gutters for no
The
reason.
platform allowed it, so Nate's going to do it. Would you have put him in your lineup this week, Gut, if you got him? Or would he be on your bench?
I mean, he's definitely going in over Phillip, so probably. But like at the end, I don't really give a fuck that much.
Casey's food.
Casey.
Literally dog walk.
Joe gets Quinn Ewers, drops Geno Smith. Another guy Gut has tried to get.
Yeah, just put zeros on both of them.
I don't even know why I put a bid in on him.
What are you doing too?
It was like I have a player to drop in Jalen Wright, and I was also like, in the off chance that Jack puts a $0 bid in, and maybe I see him in 2 weeks, and he's got, I don't fucking know, dude. I was writing storylines in my head.
I mean, Cincinnati is a cake matchup. Joe does need a QB2.
They play Tampa Bay in 17,
Dude,
so like
it would be like actually beautiful if Quinn Ewers was the reason Jack lost his fantasy.
I'd be sick.
Texas takes down the biggest Texas fan you could possibly find.
Joe's got we'll get into the preview later in the week, but like question between Corum.
Yeah, he's going to have some decisions to make. And will he put Ewers in over one of those?
Gainwell, Warren,
backs,
he's got some tough decisions.
Gainwell looked so good last week.
Rodgers loves him.
for his line's at 4.5 receptions.
I know, and it was like
Motherfucker's
minus
like a
140.
Yeah.
Tony gets Romeo Dobbs, wide
What the fuck
receiver
did I
3.
put a bid in for?
Did it say Joe Mixon?
Big.
Anthony Richardson.
Oh, okay. That one I left in case he was the Week 17 starter and Jack needed a quarterback too. That one I actually remember.
Ooh, playing ahead.
Yeah,
That one's kind of sharp.
Tony also tried to do it.
And he could go on IR, no?
maybe. Yeah, maybe that was also what I was thinking. I don't fucking know.
You were just thinking for
Yeah. You're just cooking.
Why can't I just put him straight on IR? Make that change for me and put Jalen
Yeah, I
Wright
got
back
you.
on my roster.
Is that a real change we can make in the future?
No, they don't allow it.
Glitch.
Like override?
Only
Glitch.
commissioner overrule. Which, I mean, if you have Nate as commish, then that's going to start happening.
Dobbs is actually a good pickup now that Watson is hurt.
Yeah.
I think I like Coker for Tony more. Like, if I were him, I would start.
Well, he's missing Watson and Adams now, so he probably.
I don't know if I like Coker that much.
Better matchup against Tampa Bay for sure in Chicago.
yeah,
Love him
Tony.
as a player, but like he's touchdown dependent.
Yeah.
He's like a
Cooking the last
lock
couple
for
weeks.
4.
I mean, Tony needed receivers, especially if Christian Watson doesn't play.
Yeah, I mean, take a shot. Why not?
Like, those two literally have to go straight into his lineup unless he puts
Coker being
Shaheed in.
projected 11 points is actually diabolical, though.
You think?
Yeah, like he needs a touchdown to get there, or else he's just 4 for 40.
I don't know.
It's not that far off.
Panthers Bucks is
4 for 74 is 11. 4 for 60 is 10.
Yeah, I just don't think he gets to 11 guaranteed.
That's every pickup for the week. A lot of these pickups, I feel like, are going to go straight into
Let's see what
starting
Nate's
lineups.
move is there.
All right. Let's see this Nate video. He's got more to say about the whole controversy. A lot has been said.
I feel like this is like the most fluff controversy of all time.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
It's
it's
just not that deep.
extremely overblown. But, I mean, I also don't really give a fuck if people would prefer if Nick was commissioned next year. But Nate, I don't know if I would feel great about that.
I would just take over as commissioner.
It's been a long time.
This is Nate's video to the Yoshi-gate.
I'm going to keep this quick, but there's some misinformation being thrown around by my league mates, so we're going to set the record straight on what happened in Yoshi-gate. On Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, the Chargers rule out Quentin Johnston with a groin injury. He is inactive. As soon as I hear this, I move QJ into my IR slot because he was marked as out, and I move John Mechie into the lineup as a placeholder while I figure out who I'm replacing QJ with. For better or worse, I settle on claiming Bengals wide receiver Andre Yoshi-gate. The fact that he scored 0 points on Sunday means absolutely nothing to the situation, and anyone that brings it up is trying to distract from what happened. I go to put in a claim on Yoshi because I now have an open bench spot with Quentin Johnston on my IR slot, and Sleeper tells me that I have an ineligible player in my IR slot, so I can't put in a claim. A few things happen here. At first, it says Quentin Johnston is out, and I'm unable to make the claim still regardless of that. Then his status switches to questionable while he's still in the IR slot, and I text the group asking how that can happen. That's at 11:58. At 11:59, Sexy answers saying that he sees him as out. I confirm he is in fact marked as out, but for whatever reason, Sleeper is still telling me that I can't make the claim. I send a screenshot to the group chat thinking that being upfront about it right away, this will get resolved easily, no problem. In my opinion, this screenshot is the single greatest piece of evidence. This should not be able to happen on Sleeper. If a player is marked as out, he is eligible for your IR slot, and you can make claims. As much as I love Sleeper, people know it's glitchy. Now, what is our commissioner's initial response to the screenshot? Unlucky for you. Great start. A minute later, I reply, can you add him to my roster? Nobody else put a claim in. The app is broken. Can you use your commissioner powers to just make this right? Now, I'm going to save you from reading most of the text messages for the next hour because a lot of it is just guys fucking around, not understanding what's going on, talking about other stuff that's unrelated. If anyone in the league thinks there's anything in those messages I'm not being upfront about, feel free to bring receipts, but there's too many messages to go over them all. 2 messages I will point out though. Jack saying that he would give me the claim once he understands what happened, and Nick saying that if a player's out, he can go on IR. I don't hear from Sexy again until 12:29 when he jokes about letting some fake Tony collusion go through. At 12:31, I say, if you could add him to my roster, that would be helpful. At 12:37, I straight up ask, are you going to add him to my roster? Casey and Nick go back and forth joking some more until at 12:24, I ask again, can I get an answer from the commissioner on this issue that I brought up 45 minutes ago? At 12:45, Sexy says, no is my answer because Sleeper didn't allow it. He also says we've been listening to the app all season, so why should we change now? This goes on a little while longer, but there's only 3 more messages I want to bring up just for the record. One is Jack says to give me the player a few times. One is Joe says that he agrees with me. And the last is a hypothetical I posed to Sexy where I asked if somebody's waiver bid glitched into $200 if he would just let that ride because the app said so, and he said yes. Now, I already know what the arguments are going to be against this. Here's why they're stupid. The first one is that this is somehow a function of Sleeper, and that's just how it works, and it's weird sometimes. This is not like a situation where a player's injured on a given week, and then even though you know he's not going to play the next week, he still switches back to questionable and fucks up your waiver moves because he's technically ineligible for IR. This is a player that was ruled out by his team, and it said as much on Sleeper. Again, per the waiver rules of Sleeper, you should not be able to have a player on your IR slot that is marked as out, and you're not able to make a claim. It's a glitch, plain and simple. Nobody has been able to dispute this. The second bad argument is that this has happened before and we let it ride. Sexy's referring to an incident in season 1 when we were on ESPN where JMO had an ineligible player in his IR slot, and he tried dropping 2 guys to make it work, and it still didn't work, and he ended up losing those guys. Aside from that being a different platform, which is enormous, 2 big differences. 1, as far as I know, JMO never said anything to the league before he made the drops. And 2, as far as I know, there was never conclusive evidence of a glitch, and I don't know that that was even the claim. The third bad argument is that we don't change what the app says. The rules are the rules. If the app allows it, it's allowed. And he will point to the JL Dallas Goedert pickup as evidence of us adhering to that. 1, as dumb as that situation was, it technically was part of our rules. As fucked as the rule was, it was part of Sleeper's official functions, and it was not a glitch. There is no comparison here. Second, follow letting the app do everything to its logical conclusion. Take the hypothetical I posed. If somebody puts in a $1 bid and Sleeper changes it to $200, are we not fixing it with commissioner powers because that's what Sleeper said? If I drop Josh Allen now that I'm eliminated from the playoffs, are we just letting that ride because Sleeper let me do it? If the commissioner won't use their powers to correct what's an obvious error with the app, then what's the point of having a commissioner anyway? Sexy also alluded to the rest of the league agreeing with him, but that's just not true. Jack and Joe both agreed with me in real time when this was happening. In person on Tuesday, Casey said that he agrees that I was in the right, but it's not his job to tell the commissioner how to do their job. And to some extent, he's right. And also in person on Tuesday, JMO said that once he had everything laid out in front of him, he agreed with me as well. Just that things got confusing with how much bullshit was going on in the group chat that wasn't solving the issue. And that's an unfortunate problem with this league because as much as I'd like to think that with all the facts laid out in front of them, everyone would agree that the right move was to give me the player, people would rather just joke around and take the piss in the group chat and not stand up and say, hey, this was clearly a glitch, just give him the player. Like, that's fair. But if any of my league mates disagree, here's your opportunity. Stand on business. Take this opportunity to look in the camera and say, if there is a glitch in a $5,000 money league, the commissioner should not fix it. And that's fair. Now, I said in the recap video, if you want to clown on me for making this big of a deal over Andre Yoshi-gate when he had 0 points and didn't impact the result of my game at all, that's totally fine. Or if you're just a loser who wants to leave YouTube hate comments every week because your own life is so unsatisfying, hell, that is fine too. But if you can see all the evidence laid out and still think that the correct decision was to not do anything to fix the glitch, then I hope you enjoy your $10 league with grandma and grandpa because you are too slow or too casual to understand how a legit league should be run.
Is that it? Just lagging? Oh, listen, I'll talk hate straight to his fucking noggin. I think Ron was like I said this before. I think Ron was completely right.
One other thing I didn't realize was that he said QJ was switched back to questionable.
Yeah.
On Sleeper right before.
Yeah. I think he was questionable all the way up until when he was out. And I think Ron is right of like our waivers just run at a weird time of an hour before of like the app is still putting in the person behind the scenes of Sleeper is still putting in all the IR reports. But like it might not just like go through right away. It might take till 12:30, 12:15, whatever for it to officially go through.
Well,
the app.
I mean, the context behind our league, which makes it weird, is like we run waivers every day, 12 p.m. So Wednesday to Sunday, no matter what day it is, no matter if they're games, no matter if a guy gets ruled out 2 minutes before a game, 12 p.m. or you don't get a player. See, I didn't realize that. Okay, so QJ was questionable all week. That's fine.
Yeah.
Can't put him in your IR. Everyone knows that. That's fine. He was sitting on Nate's bench. Then he gets ruled out, and they put him as out. So Nate puts him in the IR. So while he's in the IR, he gets turned back to questionable?
Yeah, like because he did it immediately, and then they just, I guess, like something on the back end of like they just quickly went it back to questionable for a bit until he officially.
So yeah, I guess I don't know. Like I tweeted at Sleeper. Jack followed up on it, and then I followed up again because I do want to know like what the back end from Sleeper is like, because there's a world where Sleeper has a source, and they use one single source as whether or not a player is ruled out or not.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying I agree or disagree with it. Like the Los Angeles Chargers Twitter account said at whatever it was, 11:35, QJ is ruled out. But there's a possibility that Sleeper gathers data at a specific time from the same source every week or whatever that then uploads into their back end and switches them in or out or something like that.
Well, and that's
and in
what I
that
was also
sense,
thinking,
that's not a glitch. That's how everything plays every single week in terms of it, but I also don't know if that's true or not.
I think there's also been multiple examples of like where someone will get like ruled out and it won't be like, obviously we just haven't run into this specific example before but in like other leagues, like sometimes like someone will be ruled out and they just don't put it to ruled out until like 30 minutes before the game.
Right.
And like you just don't have that opportunity, but like our situation of our league makes it so that's more prominent.
Right. Like, I mean, that's any fantasy league. You see a guy ruled out and you're like, when can I put him in my IR? When can I put him in my IR?
Exactly.
This is different. I'm just getting the information now that he was switched to questionable as he was already in the IR spot, which is weird because that would acknowledge the fact that Sleeper knew QJ was out, whatever source they used marked him as out and then put him back at questionable. That's weird. That part I didn't know about it. I don't know if that changes anything for me, but like I thought he was ruled out 11:30, they put him in there, and then the error message popped up.
Yeah.
I mean, like I understand Nate's point of view for sure, and like I was on the fence myself about making this decision, and like the way I always have run any league that I'm commissioner of is I do like to take the opinions of the league, and if I view something some way, but the entire league views something a different way, I would side with the league. Like, okay, you guys want it this way, I'm down to run with that way. And on the day, within that hour, I heard the opinions of 8 people. There was the 4 of us, Ron, Joe, Jack, and Nate. 5 of us viewed it as we don't think this switch should happen. 3 viewed that it should happen, which played into my decision of not making it happen, the fact that more people agreed with it that way. And then the fact that we have had similar things happen in the past. Obviously, Nate views them differently, and they are different. It's not obviously the exact same situation, but that precedent was set, and I think that was a factor along with the fact that a lot of people agreed that this should not be happening, and people would be upset if I did make the switch as well. So it's like no matter what happens, people are going to be upset with the decision, and I viewed that Nate should not be getting the player because of the majority as well as the precedent.
I think the main thing that bothers like me of the whole situation is the fact that he messaged it at 11:58. Of like, if you message at like 11:45 and like your understanding of what's going on, and then you like make everyone aware and they have 15 minutes before waivers run and you like get it settled out, like that would have made it way more clear than at 11:58, 2 minutes before it moves, and then you have to make a move. That completely changes the outlook to where if it's 15 minutes before, we can kind of like figure it out and you're like talking it through. And then everyone has time to digest what's happening, and then waivers run, and then it goes through instead of it just being like, sexy, fix it for me. I think that makes it more pressure on you and like makes it way more of a debacle as it is than if you would have just brought it up when it actually like happened.
Yeah, wait, I back to the questionable thing.
That had to have happened at like 11:35 or 40. Like,
could it have happened after? Like, I guess I need more clarity on the timeline of the questionable thing.
Like when he clearly put in the waiver wire like pick at 11:50 something for it to like be a text message that we got at 11:58.
But I'm saying, like, did he put it in Yeah, I don't know. I guess you're.
There's so many gray areas.
There is so many. That's why Sleeper just fucking answer me, bro.
Yeah. I'm of the opinion if it was a real glitch, it should have been fixed, but I'm also now in the stance of like we have no idea if it was.
That's what I mean. Like we don't have context on the back end to
Yeah.
be like it's a glitch, or is it like Sleeper
he
uses a
was ruled out on,
specific
like-
data source that
I think we could rule it a glitch if it's like he was ruled out on like Saturday and you know he's out and that doesn't count. Instead of it being this weird gray area of like, oh yeah, 20 minutes, 30 minutes before like waiver wires run, then it's like a gray area. It's not like a designated glitch.
And
Like
that
if
was
it
another
was a
thing that I said in
designated
my-
glitch and it was like Saturday, I would say 100% like just fix it.
Yeah.
But like we don't know if it was or not, and that's the weird area.
And that was another thing I said in my video for the recap of like, it could have been a glitch, but we don't know for sure that it was a glitch. So like, that's why
And like
I
either
want to
way, he ended
follow
up
what the app
like
says.
benefiting from it. So it's like at the end of the day, it's just not that deep.
I mean, I
Cut
definitely
to
agree with that.
Casey's opinion. He can't make this video, so here's what his thoughts were before. All right, we're going to do waiver wire video in an hour, and we're also going to debate Sexy's job in an hour. But Casey won't be in it, so we're getting his thoughts right now in the office.
Yep.
Talking about the Yoshi-gate. Give your thoughts.
Yoshi-gate, I have no real thoughts on the specific problem. My problem is more with Sexy.
Like that.
Strictly in this statement, everybody needs to remove Sexy as a human to Sexy as a commissioner. Sexy as a human, perfect. We all love. Sexy as a commissioner, he is atrocious at it. He should not be the commissioner. He can't make a decision on his own. He just listens to everyone's opinion and then makes a decision, usually like, yeah, we're not changing anything. And that's just not what you need from a commissioner. Like, in the group chat, we were all just fucking with Nate. And Sexy needs to be the one that, like, cuts through all the bullshit and is like, this is the decision. When in reality, I counted it yesterday, in the group chat there were 43 texts.
Okay, I mean, this is just so...
43 texts about the situation.
Counting the
And
text,
Sexy
I'm out on
went
that.
ghost until it seemed like it had shaken out, and then he doesn't have to make a decision that he then stands on.
Being devil's advocate, maybe he was like, I'm going to turn off the noise and just make a decision on my own.
But he didn't.
Okay.
Not making a decision is a decision.
One
Sexy's
thing you
turn.
said in there of like, I don't make a decision on my own. I listen to what people are saying and then come to a conclusion. That's exactly what a commissioner should do. You should listen to the members of the league.
To a degree, I would agree. But most people were just not giving serious opinions. They were just trolling Nate, like, you're not getting this shit back. Like, half of it was real opinion, me including. And half was just, like, trolling Nate, like, big dog, no one gives a fuck, stop bitching. But, like, in reality, he had a very valid excuse that a real commissioner would be like, all right, this is a clear glitch. Like, let's just get in, fix it, and if people want to fake bitch after, like, it is what it is.
Okay, I got the opinions of 8 people. There was Nate, Jack, and Joe, who clearly sided with Nate. And then
3
in
of the only
office-
people taking it seriously.
Okay, no, but in the office, there was 4 of us in here, and all 4, J-Mo, Nick, Gut,
Okay,
and myself.
J-Mo acknowledged he had no clue what was going on. So again, that's as a commissioner, you need to understand
Okay,
whose
but
opinion
wait,
to...
like, in the moment, I very clearly said to Sexy, like, fuck Nate.
No, I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming him.
No, but, like, I'm just confirming, like, what Sexy's saying is true.
No, I know. And what I'm saying is, as a commissioner, this is why I do agree to some degree that you need to listen to everybody and not be a true dictator. But you also need to have the wherewithal to listen to the people's opinions who are taking it seriously. J-Mo outwardly said that he had no clue what was going on. He just saw me trolling and was like, fuck Nate. But yet you took his opinion. He had no clue what was going on. Also, I'm not sure, I wasn't here, but Nick was like half trolling also. Again, he may have been serious in his...
chat, but he was serious in here.
That's fine. What was his reasoning for not doing it?
Kind of the same stuff that I had said of like, we've set this precedent.
Like, we've set this precedent, but this was the first time that it was like a true just like glitch. That's all I'm saying. You took everyone's opinion. A couple people who had zero fucking idea what was going on. I had no clue. I literally saw Nate bitching about something, and I was like, just send him a Google Drive for his tears. Like, I had no clue what was going on. You need to be
I think that influences
That's
Sexy.
my point. Taking
You had no influence on me because you didn't give me a clear stance.
Correct. I had no stance.
But the people who did,
But he gave you a stance and he had no clue what was going on. That's my point.
He didn't say I have no clue what's going on when we were talking about it. So
right, but that's what I'm saying
yes.
But that's just you being a vote counter, not a commissioner.
But that's what being a commissioner
I
is.
completely okay, fine. If you believe that that's what it is, I think that's completely wrong. I think the commissioner has more power other than to just be like, hey, everyone vote on this situation. That's not what a commissioner does. I'm not saying you should be a dictator.
You think if 8 people are saying one thing, I should be like, no, fuck you.
Okay,
guys.
well, it's
I
a
think we should go
12-person
with the
league. If 8 people who were informed were giving an opinion, then yes, you should take that under your assessment of the situation. But people's thoughts should only be taken under assessment and then made a decision, not to be the end-all be-all. You just admitted that you took JMO's word when he had no clue what was going on. If that's what you think commissioner is, I think you're wrong.
I didn't say, whatever JMO says is
no, of course, but I'm just saying
I valued what his thoughts were because
right, you valued his thoughts, and you shouldn't have. Just in this specific
he
stance.
Didn't say
he had no clue what was going on.
He didn't say that. He didn't say
but
that.
that's your fault. That's my point.
I believe you're like pressing him a little too hard. Like you gotta understand, this happened right at 12, and games were like happening now. Like he didn't have time.
An hour. Right, and within that hour,
everyone was being a fucking bot.
That's my point. He has to get the noise out and actually make an informed decision. That's literally my point.
Despite that,
an hour to make a decision on that is not up against it. I'm
not saying an hour for him to decide. An hour to you're saying gather everyone's exact stance.
I'm saying, especially in that specific instance, I actually don't think you needed the opinions of everyone. Nate laid it out extremely.
Right, that's why I didn't fully ask
Nate laid it was very clearly a glitch because usually people don't get ruled out that late, whatever, a sleeper couldn't handle it. Like that was just, to me, he laid it out as clearly as possible. Like I'm not even asking, I'm just showing proof. Can you change this? Like you should have been able to just yourself evaluate that situation and be like, this is a clear error, I'll fucking fix this. And if people act after the fact, they're like, oh, sexy corrupt, like, they're all just trolling. Everyone knows that was a fair change.
People would have actually been upset because
we
had similar situations.
Who else? So you have JMO, who, similar to me, had no clue what was going on, specifically to this instance. Mm-hmm. Who else knew what was going on, was actually informed in the situation, and was on your side?
Ron and Nick.
So 2 people.
Gut was also against it as well. So that's now 5.
Gut, did you fully understand what was going on?
But Ron and Nick, it's like...
Okay, so you still had 3-3. That's what I'm saying.
It was 5-3.
Who was 5?
Gut,
it's not a vote.
JMO, Nick, Ron.
But these people don't actually really care. You need to be able to...
I didn't ask them, do you care?
You're not a vote counter.
Yes, I am. That's how I... That's
wrong. Okay, then if you believe that you were just a vote counter instead of commissioner, then fair. But that's not the role. That's actually not the role. Because we can actually just get an AI to be like, hey, here's a vote. Somebody count it up, and that's the decision.
That is a
commission. The reason you have a human doing it is to literally just not be a vote counter.
Do you think him deciding to not change it is not a decision?
No, because I think that is one.
That is a decision, though.
No, it's not. How? It's not really a decision because that's what was going on. So the default was just not doing anything. Like that's a half decision. It's just staying with what was going on and what the general people. Half the people in there didn't understand what was going on and were trolling him. I think most people will agree the commissioner job is actually not to be a vote counter. It's to take everything within context but make your own decisions. And you're supposed to be...
I did do that.
You're supposed to be
are based on the majority of the league.
Right, and that's wrong.
No, I don't think so because I'm sure Nate was going to be upset, but there's going to be people who are upset if I
Nobody was going to be upset if
Ron literally said it was confessional. That would be the case.
Ron's an idiot.
When Nick walked in, I messed with him and was like, you see what Sexy did? He gave him a Yoshi-gate and he called him a pussy immediately.
Right. I think, I honestly, again, I was not here, but Nick was also just trolling. If you saw his
I don't think
behavior-
so.
his action-
Unk was like, don't change it.
I'd be super curious to hear.
I literally texted Nick, like, on his own, like, what do you think about this
That,
situation?
that's kind of my point. Is you're kind of like you text a few people and then their thoughts ultimately decide your decision. I don't think that's right. I think you can take that, but
you were just saying earlier that I shouldn't be asking everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right, so I didn't ask everybody. But
No,
now
but-
you're saying I'm only.
No, but I'm
texting
saying you
probably-
texted Nick, and
Yeah,
like
I think-
what he said was probably going to be final.
I think that Nick's opinion is pretty valid.
Then he should just be the commissioner.
I mean, it would have been the same result.
Fire. Unk, we're already 10 minutes deep into this.
Literally every time I log in here on Wednesdays, you fucking two.
All right, so I'm actually curious what his
We didn't even watch Nate's video yet.
reasoning is. My overall thing is just sexy as, again, sexy person, love. His personality traits do not fit what a good commissioner would be, in my opinion.
Yeah, sexy's not cut through.
That's what I'm
Winter
saying.
meetings.
What's the?
I'm just curious why you. They said that you were team Nate shouldn't get Yoshi-Boss. I was just curious why, because I wasn't here when you were discussing it.
I think it's similar to most of the points that have been made, that anything that's happened on the Sleeper platform up to this point has kind of just been like, that's the way the platform is working.
But isn't
and
it-
sucks?
Isn't this the most clear, like, and obvious glitch we've had? Or do you not think that's the case?
Well, I've tweeted at Sleeper multiple times to see what their answer was, because I would like an answer on why that wouldn't work. But there's also been instances, and I didn't bring it up, but if we ended up going through it, that I was going to bring it up in the episode today. When I got Rico Dowdle,
Sure.
Tony dropped him on a Tuesday at like 3 p.m.
Yep.
And our settings are like two days have to clear before you can pick someone off waivers. So I assume by Thursday I can get him, right? That didn't happen. So I put in a bid Thursday, didn't go through. And I'm like, okay, maybe it needs to be 2 waiver runs, and then I can get on the third one. And because of that, I had to bid up another $40 to get Rico, which is fine. But like 3 weeks ago, I picked up Kyle Pitts, played him, and then I was like, I'm waiting until Friday at like 2 p.m. to drop him so that nobody can pick him up, right?
Right.
Because that would mean Saturday, Sunday, and then Wednesday. So I did that. Sunday rolls around, Adam picks him up. I'm like, I don't understand this rule. Like, I don't understand how the platform is working. I'm not gonna this is all on camera. Like, this all happened.
Yeah.
Me talking to this on camera. And I'm just at the point where it's like, this app does this shit, and I know if I complain about that, no one's going in and moving the fucking rules of the app because it's glitching so that I can have a player.
Is there a difference? But are we sure that? Are you 100% positive that that was a glitch, or there is like our waivers just run in a weird way and that's what they are, rather than it actually being a glitch?
But those two moves are on the two sides of what the arguments could be. So how can one?
Unless like Tuesday through Thursday is not like evaluated the same as like Friday, Sunday.
I'm not sure about that, but I don't understand how that could be the case.
No, I neither do I. But I'm just saying there's a chance that those actually are the rules. We're just a little unaware of them, rather than it being a glitch.
Maybe like
Ron had similar shit happen to, like Ron is saying, it's special. He had similar shit happen to him.
No, but when the waivers run, I think are just like inconsistent, and we may not have the full scope of understanding of waivers, rather than this being an actual.
Here's
glitch.
almost without a doubt what happened. Because Quentin Johnson was ruled out like right before the 1 p.m. slates, they on the front end probably changed what happened, but didn't qualify it on the back end as being an out player.
Yeah.
So it didn't go through.
Right. Which I think we can all agree is like wrong, rather than like waivers being super inconsistent in when you can pick and drop players, is more of like we need to maybe just like fix our waiver process.
Agree. We clearly have some fixes to do this summer. I'm just saying, up to this point in the season, we've played it like as the app lies. We just kind of
I just think waiver pickups and drops and how those days work is like us not having an understanding of our own settings for whatever reason, less than Nate's being more of like a clear glitch.
I mean, okay, so what would have been the problems? Up to this point, the Thursday-Friday pickup for Dallas Goedert was obviously a problem.
Yeah.
That one falls on him for not looking at the rules and being like, you can't pick up a guy after he plays. Like, that's a clear set.
Yeah.
We can admit that for sure.
Sure.
The other ones are not understanding the waiver rule, I don't think has really impacted a ton more than that have been like impactful to the league.
Sure. Yeah.
Like you were like, is this how this waiver works? Like we can't pick this guy up. Like that was you, like you not knowing the rule.
Yeah, I have no idea
Right.
how they work.
It's pretty clear. It's just every day at 12 p.m. months.
Sure.
Yeah. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying like. Anyways, I actually don't know a definitive answer for the Yoshi-Vas thing.
I don't
just
either, which is why I want an answer.
I
from
just
Cleveland.
don't think Sexy should be the commissioner.
Okay, that's fine. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
I would take it over.
Because I think he's spineless.
I would take it over.
And I think he texts you. I think he texts you and then gets general sentiment on decision, and then that's what's final, and that's what you don't need from a commissioner.
Okay,
you know what?
If
Go
I
ahead.
had flipped it, we would have had people like Nick and Ron who are not happy with the decision because they
No.
similar shit
Sexy,
happen.
I'm with you. There's always
Here's the way.
part of being a commissioner is you're going to make decisions where there are multiple sides and somebody is
Correct.
going to be upset. I'm aligned.
That's what
he's
doing right
No,
now.
I just think he's not making decisions.
How?
Because it's easier that way. Because it's hard. It's easier to less people. Like if you don't make a decision and you don't stand on something, there's less people. Like all they can do is essentially call you a pussy. Like you just left it as it is. Like it's more of like, oh, this was a sleeper
Within the
problem,
group,
not a
though, he
sexy
said, I'm
problem.
not doing that because we played the way that we played all year.
But that's what everyone already said that in the chat.
But why does he need to come up with his own unique POV if that's what he believes too?
I think he should just be making these decisions for the most part, like in a vacuum, what I think is the most fair, and I don't think he
That's
did that.
exactly what I did. It's
No,
just
you
your opinion
you
that-
literally said you texted Nick
No,
because I value his opinion more than everyone's.
I didn't say more than everyone, but I
Okay,
said,
you said more.
I think his opinion matters in this context.
Right. So that's exactly. You did not make your decision in a vacuum.
the other-
you texted Nick, so you would have the comfort blanket of having the guy who runs our league actually being on your side.
The other, also true, but the other
I
thing-
know.
Yeah, true, but the other part of that is also like, I don't know if it's right or not, but I know if this happened to me, like I wouldn't even argue it because I'm like, this is not going to change anything. No one's going to go in and change the ruling for me. As well as it has nothing to do with Nate personally. I know people probably feel like this is like we don't want Nate to get it over because
No,
it's
but
personal.
like I think
If
it's
anyone-
actually part of it.
It's not.
for him because people were just like J-Mo and I.
J-Mo didn't say a thing in the group
No,
chat.
but he said something sexy. Both of us admitted we actually had no idea what was going on,
I think
and we
most-
were just joking around
Okay.
about Nate.
I think most
And I think
people
he
do-
actually partially took that into like general sentiment of the league is not in Nate's favor when two of us had no clue what was going on.
I don't think
Like
that.
I literally was like, send the Google Drive folder so we can start crying.
I didn't care about what you were saying at all.
But you said you cared about what J-Mo was saying.
I
And
cared
J-Mo,
about what he was saying
J-Mo
in
admitted.
person.
I understand, but he already said he had no clue, similar to me, what was going on.
But in
Sexy
the moment,
didn't know
he was
that,
not
though.
saying that.
I know Sexy didn't know that, but that's his job to.
But like, he's not a lie detector.
No, but he should. Again, this is my point. He should not be. He should not be in a position to where, oh, I listened to J-Mo's opinion, and then after the fact be like, oh, I didn't know J-Mo had no clue what he was talking about in that specific instance. Like, you should just evaluate the situation based off of what is the most fair.
And that's what I did.
I don't think that's what you did. I think you get the general sentiment, so then when you make a decision or lack thereof and keep it the same, that there's less people.
I don't think it's a good idea to ask the league like where they stand on a topic rather than just making it 100% on my own.
But do you understand? You asked J-Mo, thought his opinion was of value, and he actually had no clue what was going on.
It's a valid point from the perspective of like there are biases in whose opinion you obviously value more. So if you're asking the league, then you're not making
Right.
a decision really on your own. Which I also get. Like I come to the same conclusion as you. I want that, but I also would have done that. Or I would have kept it and been like, yo, everyone's fucked by the league.
I actually don't.
Year.
My gripe is actually
None of us
not
have.
with.
None of us know. Like none of us
Right.
actually. know.
That's why my gripe is actually not with the decision.
But
it's just how decisions are made.
there's a chance-
we have arguments on there. Sexy literally sits in the green chair in silence while we debate it, and then he's like, "Oh, well, 2 of 3, or Nick said this. This is how we're gonna go with it."
What are you talking about?
You're gonna put an asterisk by my championship when I win.
No, I wouldn't. There's no asterisk. Again, the decision I actually don't care about. It's just our process of decision making.
Valid concern.
and I think it should be Nate, who actually,
That
I think in his heart of hearts, he just wants what's best for the league and is actually capable of making a decision that may be against popular opinion, or you, who is also well-informed, wants what's best for the league. And
I'll take over
on
commissioner. Honestly, the reason I gave it to anyone else was just because, like, I didn't want extra admin duties.
No,
what
I said in here is runner of league and commissioner can be two different jobs.
Right, yeah.
Sexy can run the league, he just shouldn't be the decision maker.
You're going to make decisions when I'm commissioner.
Dictatorship.
Right, the last thing we need is guns.
Go with 3 wins instead of 1.
So you think Nate should be commissioned?
No, like that I wouldn't go for.
I actually, like, again, people play, like, if I was commissioner, I would have read what Nate wrote instead of just seeing him bitch and immediately, for content, be like, stop bitching and make a video. Like, everyone, I think he would attack his opinions and thoughts in a more unbiased way if he was actually commissioner.
I don't give a fuck about not being commissioned. Somebody else can take that over because it's like there's just no upside. It's only downside because there's always gonna be people who disagree and you're gonna make people upset no matter what.
Right,
So
and I think there's certain people. I think you're 100% right, and I think there's certain people who can handle that like.
I mean, I can handle it.
Handle that matrix better.
I'm the commish of a lot of leagues. I can handle people being pissed at me. It's just you can't.
I can't what?
Handle that.
People being pissed at me?
No, people being pissed at me.
I could what?
you can't handle him being commished because you're the only one calling for his head. He's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lack of conviction in your decisions, and I think you kind of admitted it that you text Nick to get his thoughts on a decision.
I did.
Which isn't. I'm not saying that's like an entirely wrong process, and like, but I just think then we should have Nick be the commissioner.
Coming 20 minutes
coming
of that
for
video.
Sexy's head.
Now, Casey a coward for not making a recap video.
Monday morning, and it is a beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. JMO's fraudulent fucking team is out of this league for good. I mean, there's nothing better, and it couldn't have gone out in a better / worse way. 101 points out of his fraudulent team. I told him his quarterbacks were ass. His team always sucked. Everyone knew it sucked. It's honestly difficult with him. You can't even tell if he truly believes it or he's just lying to himself or it's a bit. But manifestation this, talk it into existence that, his team was fucking ass. So shout out JL for taking down JMO. That was goal number 1. Goal number 2 is not getting the punishment ball. Team puts up a solid performance. Ron's team obviously better. Gets a 30-piece from Henderson and a 32-piece from ETN. Not much you can do from there. Lost by 10. I like Ron. He's not a pussy. I was just saying it on the video. So shout out him for not concerning himself with the name calling. But it kind of sets up perfectly. JMO's out, and now I get the chance to send Gut to the Toilet Bowl final, which would I like to be out? Because now it's like you have 2 games or else you're doing the punishment. Of course. But a chance to knock out Gut. Another week to play fantasy. I don't hate it, especially with this team. It's fun watching this team, but I trust this team to get it done next week. It's a beautiful Monday. The bit didn't cost me, and JMO's out. I think there's a nice middle ground, and I don't want to tell him how to live, but I think positive mindset, setting goals, and I guess, and speaking things into existence, I'm with it all. But him saying that, like, that's an actual reason why his fantasy team could win. And if he said his fantasy team sucks, that it wouldn't have won. Like, no, that's not manifestation. Your team just does suck. It put up 100 points this week. Yeah, beautiful Monday. Mo is out. Fuck Mo. And on to Guttas.
Not in the recap.
Not recap. Not here. He's
Casey
running from
ducking.
me. Running from Guttas. Now that Quinn Ewers in the lineup, Waddle about to have a day.
Yo, who do I start at quarterback for real? Stafford, T-Law.
Richardson?
Yeah, answer me.
Rich and let him know.
Stafford or T-Law? Stafford in Seattle, Thursday night. No Adams. T-Law at Denver. T-Law.
Goat. Just dropped like a 40 burger.
Yeah,
Almost
not the
50
same
burger.
matchup, though.
Is it
Sounds
crazy
like it.
to say T-Law might have a higher floor?
I would just disagree.
Haven't they scored like 26, like 6 games in a row?
They've just played the softest schedule ever over the last, 4 weeks.
Denver soft.
It's really crazy how when we were in Germany,
You guys are so not helpful.
and Davis Mills made that comeback win, how that really turned the Texans season around. when Tony didn't start him and like he made some crazy drive to win
So
the game.
unrelated.
It was against the Jags. It was against the Jags. That's why they came.
I was like, where the fuck did that come from?
I'm not asking about someone playing against
the reason
the
I brought
Jags.
that up is because the Texans defense is really good, and
They
T-Law
still
still put up
dropped,
like
yeah.
29 on them.
Did he?
Yeah.
Are they playing the Texans this week?
They're at
Broncos.
Denver.
I'm just saying
Broncos.
he can play a good defense.
I also don't think the Broncos are the Broncos of last year. Like, I would be more scared if it was Seattle or Houston than I would be the Broncos.
See, I think he's more likely to
Like, the
score
Packers-
11 points than he is 22 points.
I guess. I feel like Jordan Love cooked them last week. Like, that first half, he was
I think you just
cooking.
gotta realize this week neither of them are probably gonna drop 20.
No, you're right.
Not
You're
gonna.
right. Low-key staff.
You want to
What am
drop
I?
Herb?
What am I even saying? Right
Stafford right now, if you're going by just books, Stafford is not the play. Like, the books have Stafford to have a bad game.
Books are never right.
You made the rankings.
Hey, the
I'm sure you
Bucks.
put one higher.
I did, but I didn't feel good about either of them. But I'm like sexy.
Which one's higher right
I'm
now?
sexy as a Commish, Stafford, but they're both like shitty QB2s.
If T-Law didn't have a big game last
I have an
week, he
opinion,
wouldn't
but
be
you
thinking-
guys are making the decision for me.
If T-Law didn't pop off, you wouldn't.
Yeah, not even close.
you wanna
But
make-
I mean, that's part. Like, is Liam Cohen got this offense dialed?
You want to make a trade?
Six
We'll give you-
touchdowns.
Myers.
6 touchdowns you're going to turn down? Over 23.5.
God, he's so. What is he at now?
Purdy's gonna end up being the war.
QB7.
He's
I'll
like
give
Kyle
you-
Pitts. He was like
Who's
QB
Purdy
17
playing?
prior to the game. Purdy's got Indy.
Yeah, bench him.
I'll give you Jacoby Brissett and Commish Powers back.
Indy,
Jacoby,
Indy just cooked Sam Darnold.
like 300.
Yeah, not enough.
3-7 after a 50-point game. Like,
Brissett and Commish Powers for nothing.
low key be the QB whisperer scene. You don't want to talk about that.
All right, that's the end of this controversial episode. Next time you see us, I will no longer be Commish.
Peace.